we share, with a dash of this and a pinch of that, mixed all up with care. The best company and conversation, recipes and new creations. We're cooking up something good here at home. We are cooking up something good here at home.
Well, hello family, and welcome to At Home Today. This is our New Year's Day dinner program. I know you're probably really worn out from the holidays, probably entertained everybody and their brother, and the tree probably looks like it's fallen down, and you just want to put everything away. But don't do it today. This is still a holiday. Do you know that this was my mother and dad's anniversary? And every New Year's Day, my dad would have a card and a gift for my mother. And part of the day was, you know, we as kids, you know, he'd kiss my mom, and we'd go and snicker and laugh. Oh, they're kissing, you know. That made us feel very secure, to know that our parents loved each other and they would kiss in front of us. But good memories of New Year's Day, and I hope you're not taking the tree down. Wait for tomorrow or the next day or whenever. But enjoy today, because this is a new chance to begin a new year. A lot of stuff we wanted to do last year we didn't get done. A lot of promises we made people we didn't follow through. Some we did follow through, and thank God for those. But you can't always keep looking back saying, man, I should have done this, I didn't get that done, I feel this. I think New Year's resolutions are good and bad all at the same time. If you don't keep them, they're not so good. If you do, it is good. But don't be so hard on yourself, because God always gives us another chance. And particularly if we start the new year with a relationship with Him, spending a bit of time every day, just a little few minutes if that's all you have, just in the morning before you start your day, just say a few words of prayer, read a scripture or two. It will set the tone of the day, and it will help you through the rough moments of that day. A lot of decisions people will be making this year, and ask God to help you to make the right decisions, the right relationships, the right things to do, places to go, people to see. What should I do? He will let you know. He will let you know. So today we're making the traditional, we haven't done this in many years, sauerkraut, pork, kielbasa, hot dogs, mashed potatoes, fried apples, cream. Oh, there's a whole lot more. And we're getting started right after today's at-home hint. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Here's today's at-home hint. When purchasing raw pork, be sure that the meat is a nice pale pink color. The darker the meat, the older the animal. And pork should never be left at room temperature more than 1 hour before being refrigerated. Patty, it's New Year's Day dinner. Mm-hmm. Do you like this food on New Year's?
I love it.
I think it's really, really good. Just as one of my favorites. Sauerkraut, pork.
Mashed potatoes.
And we don't have it very often, but boy, when we do, we want the best.
Good.
And we're going to make cornbread to go with it. And we need to get that in the oven. So tell us how to make it.
All right, you start off with a 1/4 cup of butter, and you melt it, and you pour it in your pan, and then you take a cup of milk.
Okay.
And an egg.
This is kind of your basic cornbread. Huh?
Mm-hmm. And then you whisk this together. And then once you're done with that, then you put in your dry ingredients, which is cornmeal, flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt.
And you're just whisking it all together, and you're putting it into, did you grease that?
Yes, I did.
So it just goes into a baking dish, or you can use a round cooked cake pan if you want to, too.
Not a big one, like an 8-inch or 9-inch. And that's it.
Okay. Now, how long's it bake?
About 20, 25 minutes at 400.
Wow. Awesome. Now, let me show you here. You know how to make this. I'm just going to walk you through, because we've done it in a crock pot. And I'm telling you, this was cooking all night long. And when I woke up at 4 o'clock, I was like, what is that smell? It was this cooking. Now, we've already added some hot dogs in here, but I want you to know that down under here is the biggest loin of pork. If I can get it up out of here. I tell you, I don't want to mess with it because it's going to break apart. But it is covered with sauerkraut. It's nice and moist, the hot dogs. We did kielbasa and hot dogs and everything. I mean, this is the way to go. If you don't have the time to play with stuff at the very end, put this on the night before. You can always shut it off when it gets done and then warm it up as you need it. This has been going on low for about 8 hours. Then I shut it off, brought it to the studio. I'm telling you, that's what we're going to be enjoying. Basically, it's pork roast, sauerkraut, and I put some brown sugar in there to cut that. I also put half of an apple, half of a whole onion in there. Someone told my mother a long time ago that would help with that gassiness that you get sometimes from all this cabbage. A little black pepper, kielbasa and hot dogs, and there it is. How much easier can it be than that? You're going to want to try that. Now, what I'm going to make for our dinner too, it's called the Best Ever Spinach Artichoke Dip. And we've got 2 boxes. This is our frozen and thawed spinach, well drained, well drained. If you let any moisture, any water in there, I'm telling you, you're going to have a sloppy mess. So if you've never worked with this that much, you need to. Be sure to really, really squeeze it out. And you can do that through paper towels or with a dishcloth or just with your hands.
I squeezed it real good.
Yeah, it looks really good. Then I just flake it up a little bit. Then I have 2 cans of artichoke, chopped artichoke hearts. That's, you know what, I don't care too much for them fresh, but I like them this way. I like them on a salad. Paul absolutely loves artichokes. I mean, he just, yeah, okay? And then I have some mayonnaise here that I'm going to add. This is so easy because you dump everything at one time right into the bowl. It's not that hard. And we also have, you want 2 cups of Alfredo sauce. Now this is about 1/4 of a cup shy, but I think we're going to be all right with that.
I'm sure it will be.
This is going to make the flavor. Oh boy, it's going to make it delicious. We have to have a skinny, oh good, thanks Patty. Skinny one. Let's see here.
Scoop it all out.
Oh yeah. How about you do that while I do the cheese? I'll start to mix it so we can get this baby in the oven. And I know that, you know, I'm usually on New Year's Day. What does your family usually do? They watching football or what's going on?
Yeah, watch football and have kielbasa and sauerkraut and just kind of chill out day. Take it easy.
It is kind of relaxing. It's a family day and very relaxing, and I like that. Because after everybody going every which way for the holidays, because especially if you've got kids, some are going to their friends, some are going to someplace else, someone's going here. Right. It's nice to gather them all back and say, hey, this is New Year's Day. You want to have some friends in, but we're going to be here.
Yep, that's what we do.
Oh, look at that. I mean.
That looks really good.
And it's really moist. I think we're going to like that.
I'm not a spinach eater or artichoke eater, but
you
I
would
like this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's not to like? Alfredo sauce and cheese?
Yeah, I think that's the part.
Yeah, well, I think that will do it. Now, you can also serve this. If you can find a large loaf of round bread, you can cut the top off and clean the insides out of the bread and then put this in that bread and put it in and bake it. You can do that and keep the bread and serve that as things to dip because you can use this with crackers or whatever. It works out really, really well. Okay, I think we're there, Patty.
Okay, do you want me to pour it in?
Yeah, let's do it. There's a lot in here. I hope it fits. I think it will. How about I do this and you scoop?
All right, sounds good.
And we don't have to grease that because there's enough of goodies in there with the cheese rendering the oils and stuff that we don't have to grease the dish.
Yeah, I think this is pretty
Now,
good.
this one goes into a 350 degree
this is
oven.
Perfect.
Yeah, let me have that scraper. Wait, I have one right here. Yeah, just, you know, we got to get this, all the bites
little
out of
bits
here.
and pieces, yeah.
And this goes 350 for only until it's hot and bubbly, which is not going to take that long. It should get a little golden on the top too, because you want that to get nicely
This looks really
brown. Look at all that. Yes. Okay, and you have you already put your
Mine's already
cornbread in? Okay, we're putting the artichoke dip in, the cornbread's in, the crock pot's full. When you come back, we're going to show you how to do some more side dishes for our New Year's Day dinner. We'll be right back. Well, it's New Year's Day. We've talked to you about the sauerkraut, talked to you about a wonderful artichoke and spinach dip that's in the oven, and cornbread. Oh, that crunch of that cornbread. Can't wait to put that with the sauerkraut. Oh,
Yeah, good.
and our cameraman, Larry, he can't wait for that sauerkraut either. He cannot
loves
wait.
it.
Oh, he's circling. I mean, you know what I mean. Okay. Now you have to have mashed potatoes with sauerkraut. Absolutely,
Yes,
right?
yes.
We have 5 pounds of potatoes. We're feeding the crew today, okay? And we've got them really, really tender. You want them to break apart.
Right.
And she's going to start to mix them. And all we're doing here is adding some salt and pepper. Always remember you have to mash potatoes before you whip potatoes. So you start out very slow. Put the butter in first, Patty. Back there, butter.
I don't see the butter.
That can go in because that has to go in while they're still piping hot so it melts, okay? So add your butter a little bit at a time. Make sure those potatoes are totally dry. There's no moisture in the bottom of the pan because that makes them sloppy. You don't want that, okay? These are red potatoes we're using. I like red potatoes for my mashed potatoes. I just think they taste fresher and they're good.
Yeah.
Okay, now she's mashing. What you do when you mash, you get all of the lumps out of them. Then when they start to really get smooth, she's going to add, what's the rest of the stuff you're going to add?
Sour cream.
And a chunk of cream cheese. Now I'm telling you, these potatoes don't need any kind of a gravy. It doesn't even need sauerkraut, but I'm telling you, you could eat them just that way. Oh my, put them in a casserole, throw a little cheese on top, throw them in the oven, bake them off. Can you imagine?
Good.
Excellent. If you're making potatoes for a crowd, put them in a crock pot. You can make them early in the day. Put them in the crock pot, put them on low. They stay nice until you're having your dinner, okay? Over there in the skillet, Laurie's helping us out, is our fried apples. We did a little twist on them. We have butter here, we have brown sugar, and you just let that melt and start to caramelize a little bit. Then we took there's about 10 apples in there, hard to believe. Those are Gala apples, and we're just she's gonna let them cook very slowly, and then we'll turn the heat up to get them start to candy a little bit. We added a little bit of cinnamon, and we added some raisins to that, just a little different flavor. And we're going to keep an eye on them because we don't want them to burn, and we don't want them to get mushy. We want them to be in nice big pieces of apple. So we've got the side of our apples. We have our mashed potatoes. Patty's working on them. I'm making the cream cucumbers. I have 3 cucumbers here, and I have a big white sweet onion. Paul loves these. We have them at our house a lot. The crew loves these. That's why I make them. Yeah, that's why I make them. Okay, here in our bowl, because I have so many, I have a lot of mayonnaise, and I'm going to add, I have some vinegar here, and really you do this to taste. If you like it a little bit stronger, like sourness, you add more vinegar. But I like it a little bit on the sweet side, but I also am going to add just a little bit of the red vinegar with this, just to give it a little flavor difference, all right? And then after you make it sour, you have to make it sweet. So now we're going to add some sugar, and I'm not measuring, because again, we'll do the taste test, because that's what counts when you're making this sauce for this. And this is very easy. This is just like, you know, there's certain things. If I make a meatloaf with baked potatoes, we have to have these with it. I mean, that's just in our house. You know?
I love them. I could have them with every meal.
And then we're just going to add a little bit of milk. And that will really cream it up. Where do you think you are? Are you there?
I think I'm there.
Let's beat them up a little bit. Let's just keep, yeah, because the more you beat them, the creamier they get. And
yeah, you don't have to put milk in these either because of all the butter
you really
and stuff
don't.
in there.
Yeah, you don't, because that sour cream makes them, and also the cream cheese and the butter doesn't hurt either. Those are
Low-calorie potatoes, huh?
My dad, when he was still living and he came and lived with us for a little while, I made those for him. He just kept dipping. He couldn't stop. He's like, oh my, what's in this? I said, Dad, you don't want to know, just eat them.
Just eat them, right. Enjoy
But they
them.
are good, yeah. Because this is special occasion stuff, you know. And as I said in the open, this is like a threshold to start out a new year. You got a new chance that things that you tried before and didn't work, you get another opportunity. I better taste this before I do the damage and put them on the, you always want to taste. Need a little bit more sugar because we got that extra vinegar in there.
With a new spoon.
Yeah. Yeah, we always use a new spoon. We don't do that double dipping. Absolutely not. That's so good. And what we've done, we did the cucumbers, and then when they were all cut, cleaned and cut, we covered them with cold water, and we put salt in there. And then let them set. You can do that early in the day. Put them in the fridge. Bring it out, rinse them off, drain them off. that little bit of salt that's still on there, you don't have to add salt to your sauce at all. You don't need it.
All right, there's pepper.
Let me
if you
try
do.
them one more time. Yeah, I'll put some pepper. Oh, my, yeah.
Yeah.
You just need a little pepper. And Paul's gasping because I put a lot of pepper on there. He's going to like it, though. He always does.
That's Andy's favorite is pepper. Pepper's everything.
Well, you know, if you're trying to watch the salt intake, you tend to use more spices and stuff. And then you just pour. Oh, yeah. All over the cucumbers. And again, you can do this early in the day and set these in the fridge. I've done that a lot if I'm entertaining. I'm thinking, oh boy, you know, I don't have the last minute, I'll be making gravy or I'll be doing this and that. This is an easy, easy way. Make them ahead of time. Just like that. Makes your mouth water.
Oh,
doesn't
yeah, it does.
Give you that. Okay, and then you just mix them. Mix them up over. Just keep turning them around. And sometimes you'll find these will get a little bit like watery. So you don't want to make that sauce too thin because you don't want it to be like water. You want it to be a little thicker. Right. And we got the buzzer going all over the place today. There's our creamed cucumbers. Oh boy. What else is coming out?
No, a little longer? A little longer on the cornbread.
A little longer on the cornbread, okay. And how does that dip look up in the top oven?
It's getting there. It's starting to bubble around the edge.
Okay, great. That only bakes for about 25, 30 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, we're probably almost there.
Okay, I think we've, let's take another look at the apples. Let's turn those over one more time, Laurie, see how they're doing.
They look
And
so
let's,
good.
I think now we need to turn the heat up because now we need to caramelize them. We don't want them to break apart. So turn it up pretty high and let there's brown sugar and butter. Let that cook and caramelize and get all over all those apples. Oh, it's going to be good. I'm so glad you're here for this day. So glad you're here for a New Beginnings Day of New Year's Day. And to partake of all these good things, you're going to really enjoy it with your family. I hope you'll bring them all around you and you'll make these dishes because they're so good. You don't want to miss them. Well, here we are with family and friends at our New Year's Day dinner table. Does this look awesome or what?
Oh, it's incredible.
I mean, it's the smell. You know what sauerkraut does anyway. I mean, the smell is so incredible. And let's take a little tour around the table. Let's start here with our gourmet mashed potatoes that Patty made. And they are as fluffy and delicious as you can. You don't need anything on them, really. If you've got somebody that doesn't like sauerkraut, they'll eat those potatoes anyway. Next to it is the sauerkraut that we cooked our roast pork, our kielbasa, and our hot dogs in. And on the next platter is the roast pork. Look at that, with the little bits of sauerkraut and the kielbasa and hot dogs are all there. That's a meal right there fit for a king. Next to it is our artichoke and spinach dip. And we took our bread, we took a round bread, and we cut it into squares. And we toasted the bread cubes because that's what we're going to use to dip into that dip is a nice crunchy bread. Oh boy, I'm telling you. Then back here by Laurie and Paul, Laurie who happens to be our associate producer, and she's joining us today and we're always glad. We have some fried apples, a little twist on them from the ones we've done before because we put some raisins in there and we've caramelized them more. They're wonderful. We use Gale apples for that. Here's our creamed cucumbers, creamy and delicious. They're nice and cold. You want to keep them in the refrigerator if you make them earlier in the day because these have to stay cold because they have mayonnaise on them. We don't want anything spoiled, but you can make them earlier in the day and they're delicious. And then here it is. Everybody's mouth is drooling because this is our homemade cornbread. And I'm telling you, it's going to be the topper for the meal. I'm telling you, it's going to be the topper for the meal. And this is a wonderful table. Everybody's going to enjoy something. And the best part is you have family and friends gathered round. As I said before in the open of the program, you know, this is a time that you stop and reflect on what happened last year and what happened this year. And this opens up a whole new threshold, a whole new door to exciting things that can happen in your life. And we want to talk about one of the exciting things that's going to be happening in Patty's life because this is Patty's last day to work with us here on At Home because she and her son and family are going to open up a, tell us what it is. It's called Patty's?
Pasticceria.
Pasticceria. I guess that's pastry.
Bakery.
A bakery.
Bakery.
Oh, bakery.
Bakery in Italian.
She's going to do her own bakery in the White Oak area. And do you have any timeline for that, Patty?
We're hoping to be open sometimes February or
thereafter.
Yeah.
Soon after that. And so she's been with us for a long time. We've had a lot of fun, a lot of funny things have happened. I was just thinking earlier today, I don't know if you were here, Laura, you were here. This was so funny. One day we were having, the whole crew, we were all standing around getting ready for the program, and we were all like, talking about something really important and all that, and everybody was chattering and all that. And all of a sudden, it was summertime, all of a sudden Patty says, "My rabbit got shaved." I said, excuse me? You remember that, Laura? "My rabbit got shaved." I thought, her rabbit got shaved? Is that breaking news? It was just, we were on the floor. Everybody was laughing. She's got a lot of animals at your house, a couple dogs, got some bunnies, you got a whole bunch of other stuff. But just a lot of good memories. She was a lot of help to us for the times that she was here. Thank you so much, Patty.
I enjoyed it.
It was a joy to have you with us, and we wish only the God's best for you.
Thank you. And you guys better all come visit me.
We will. We will. And be sure to join us the next time, because it just wouldn't be the same without you. Happy New Year's, one and all.
Food provided by Jordan Banana Company, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Dravosburg, Pennsylvania.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.